Hello YouTube, I got another battle replay for you here. This one does not feature any greenskins, which I think is a first for this channel. I've been playing around with some of the other factions just to, fool around with them. I figure the more you play other factions, the better you can get at countering them. And I had a really great match here with Humbolt Squid bringing his Empire of Invoke Mill the Grim, and me bringing some Chaos baddies with the Ever Chicken over here. So let's break into the army lists. I brought a bunch of Chaos Warriors. They have high melee defense, good armor, good leadership, pretty cheap for what they bring. And I figured they could tear apart most of the Empire front line. I also brought some halberds here just to fight off, if he just bring a steam tank, or if he brought some Empire Knights, let's say, they could deal with those pretty well. Ever Chicken here, I think I don't play a lot of other races, so I picked what I thought looked good. Standard die, that seems pretty good, 27 melee defense in an area. Final Transmutation I know is a great spell, so I definitely brought that. I wanted to try these Golden Hounds, because long ago someone used them against me and they seem pretty effective. And Searing Doom, I don't know, just to try it out. So that's my build on that side. You can see I've got some Chaos Warhounds. Chaos Warhounds are going to work as my, basically, my Goblin Wolf Riders. Get in the back line and also be a cheap unit to chase routing units. And then I have a skirmisher force of Marauder Horsemasters. I brought these guys because they seem to have really good missile damage and okay melee stats. So when they run out of ammo, they're going to be able to dive in there and do some good work. My opponent brought a great build. I think he brought a much better build than I brought. He brought a bunch of great swords, so I'm really going to struggle with my non-AP units here. These great swords, great pick against me. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have brought, at least 2 units of Chaos Warriors with great weapons. I don't know why I didn't think about the great swords. Well, I know I did, because I'm used to playing the greenskins. They never bring them against me. He brought Volkmar the Grim here, Unbreakable. He's good at supporting, units and being like a chariot kind of thing. He's going to do pretty good, I feel. And Amethyst Wizard here just has, he has a bit of a weird spell. He does have Spirit Leech, of course, which is standard. And then he has Purple Son of Xerxes. You don't see that too much, but if you get a good proc with it, it can do really well against infantry. He's got a bunch of AP handgunners here and the ORR ones, Silver Bullets. Does have Royal Altdorf Griff fights. Man, that's a hard one to say. And then he's got some Empire Knights in the back here. So let's get this bad boy underway. I know I'm in trouble, but I don't have any, range, so I'm going to have to march in here, which is all right. We're going to do just that. But we are going to do a little bit of skirmishing on the side here. See if we can take down some of these Empire Knights. So I just let them loose some javelins, not doing too much damage. They're going to kind of get caught up in the trees here. So we're going to try to run away. See over here, I did let loose some of these hounds, but they didn't really do too much. So I don't know. I don't know if I would take that spell again. I am going to try to collapse on these knights, I feel like, because they kind of messed up the charge, or I'm not sure what happened there. But he's going to come in. I'm going to start trying to encircle him on that side. You can see a big charge coming in here. And this is going to be really good for the Empire. That was a Olympic charge, if there ever was one. You can see already we're taking way too much damage. I'm going to bring these halberds on Volkmar the Grim, so they should help me win this duel on this side. So at least that's something. And because he does have 4 great swords, and I do have some more infantry, at least I can bring him along the side and do a little bit more damage on there. You can see that his knights did take a pretty decent beating, but he did bring in these Griffites to take out the Warhounds. Noticing that all his mobility was on this side, I'm going to have to go around this long side if I want to shut down his AP units, which I definitely do want to do. Right now we're just going to keep using these Horse Masters to try to take down the Knights and other targets that have a decent amount of value to them. You can see we have collapsed on these Great Swords, so that's something at least. We should be able to win this little pocket, but he is breaking right through the middle here. See, Volkmar the Grim has taken a fair amount of damage by both the Ever Chicken and these Chaos Halberds. They do have anti-large, anti-piercing, and at least their AP is going to be able to deal somewhat well with the Great Swords. Obviously still not ideal. These Halberds are coming in. I guess they're just going to go do a rear charge against these Great Swords. That would be a good idea if they weren't going to get wrecked by all this AP missiles, but I do have the Warhounds coming around, so that must have been my idea there, was not to chase them off, but to let them shoot a little bit and then get the Warhounds in to really try to finish them off. Searing Bolt going in there, big old whiff. We did win this pocket, though, so we're going to start moving in here, start pressuring on that side of things. And this Greatsword group is going to chase these guys off. So at least they're not in play for the time being. And you can see we're doing a pretty good job getting on these silver bullets and different things. We're going to, I think, break through here onto that group. So we really want to shut down that AP infantry because most of our stuff is pretty heavily armored. Pretty much everything except for the Empire Knights does AP damage, though, on the Empire side. So I guess it's not a huge deal. But I mean, shutting down their backline is shutting down the backline at the end of the day. He is going to bring in the Empire Knights. He should be able to clean up these Warhounds. And his Empire Knights on this side were able to clean up my other Warhounds, so he is freeing up his AP missiles. Definitely a good move on his part. I'm going to be shooting in here, I think against the handgunners, or maybe the Empire Knights, I'm not sure which one. I'm trying to get them to break there so I can win that pocket. I'm going to bring in the Ever-Chicken here, provide some support for these great swords. Hopefully we can win that, get the halberds. They're going to be important for taking down Volkmar later. See, right now I just got the Chaos Warriors of Volkmar. I think they'll slowly chip away at his... Oh, actually, no, he's regenning faster and chipping away at his health, so... probably should just bring him in onto this side of things, but we are actually going to get the Chaos Warriors here into the ranged units. So his backline is becoming fairly compromised, although he still does have this unit of the Silver Bullets. I'm going to bring in the Chaos Warriors to try to shut that down. And I still have my Marauder Horsemen here. They got 20 kills... 43 kills, although I think they're cleaning up shop a little bit there, so that's a bit inflated. But they're doing a good job of breaking these units, making sure they don't come back, getting extra value on that side. You can see the Purple Sun coming in here, messing up these two units. This guy stays to fight. I think the other one's running. Yeah, he's terrified. They're both terrified. Did an okay amount of damage, but I know it's a costly spell. I did leave my my Ever-Chicken in the Griffites, which is a horrible mistake. I'm going to try to bring in my Horsemasters just to block him up, even though I know that's a horrible trade, but man, he took so much damage because I left him in these Griffites. That was a bad move on my part. See if I can come back from that one. But Volkmar is also getting really low, so, you know, a little tit for tat, but he does seem to have a fair amount of healing, so, you know, he's doing okay. He's going to probably heal a lot of that up, and he is terrifying a lot of these Chaos Warriors, which are not immune to, you know, to psychology, so very effective. On that side of things, we are going to start using this the Horse Masters as a bit of a cavalry force of our own, just to clean up this this backline. They're running low on ammo, though, so pretty soon they are going to be my cavalry force. You can see these great swords are super tattered up. They're going to come in here, though, still deliver some damage. They have pretty high morale, so we're going to really have to kill pretty much all of them to get them off the board. You can see how far his great swords have gone. He's bringing them back now, but kind of forgot about him, and I forgot about him too. To be honest, I thought this was all I was dealing with, so they're going to be a little bit of a surprise later. You can see a lot of my Warhounds and stuff are starting to come back, so that's good. I'm just going to keep them there and bring them in when needed. And you can see these Griffites did get into these halberds, so they're staying there to fight. Definitely not a place they want to be. So they're going to take a good amount of damage there. I think we'll be able to finish them off. Going after the Amethyst Wizard because, you know, any more Spirit Leeches is really going to be problematic, but he's just got too much in here I'm going to have to pull out. And there goes that Spirit Leech. So that's going to be really hard on the Ever-Chicken. I'm going to bring in all this high mass stuff to kind of block it up and try to, you know, let him get away. But he is pushing through pretty good there. He's got 38 speed because he's poisoned. Versus 60 speed, so should be able to get away with the Ever-Chicken. Shouldn't be an issue, and I still got lots of units here. Feeling pretty good. Even though the balance of power is against me, although that is really because of these great swords. So at the time being, I was very confused why the balance of power was so against me right here, but definitely makes sense. I just want to get rid of this Amethyst Wizard because right now it's the only thing that can really you know, cause danger to the Ever-Chicken. Ever-Chicken can run away from Volkmar. Well, I guess these Griffites could as well, which is why I'm taking care of them with the Horsemasters. Horsemasters should win that just because these guys are so messed up, but looks like he's just going to pull them away. They might come back later. Yeah, this Amethyst Wizard is just dying to 1,000 cuts here. Nothing does a lot of damage. It's mostly Horse Masters, but you know, that morale is getting pretty low, and I did cast Final Transmutation there, which breaks him off. And we're definitely going to use a unit just to keep him off the field. You can see that Volkmar the Grin, popping Grand Shield of Faith, and Grand Hammer of Sigmar there. Going to try to do some damage for sure. And right now, just trying to bring in these halberds because we really need them to do damage against Volkmar here. I did forget about these Chaos Warriors, so they're going to be cleaned up pretty easily as these great swords come back into the battle. But they're going to try out their little Chaos Hearts out. You can see they're not doing too good. So right now I'm thinking, okay, I just got to get rid of Volkmar the Grim. Easy win for me. So I got a lot of units. Let's just bring in all this high match stuff, keep them from running around, and we can bring in the Chaos Halberds to do the real damage. Should be okay. And that's exactly what we're doing. So you can see he's not taking too much damage. Nothing here except for the halberds are really pose much of a threat to him. And even with all this stuff that I'm trying to muck him up with, he's just he's slowly pushing through. You can see I pull forward and then push back to make sure I can get a lot of units in front of him, but you know, he's still doing pretty good. He's just slowly, methodically moving through this these group of horses here, and I can't get my halberds on him quite fast enough. I did notice these great swords finally, so trying to do a little bit of cycle charging, bring those guys down. I realized those are going to be a huge issue for my Chaos Warriors and my halberds. They could, with that amount of health they have, they could easily clean them up. So right now it's Operation Cycle Charge into Oblivion. Try to get rid of those guys. And then once those guys are gone, I can really just focus on taking down Volkmar the Grim. So I'm going to use all my Horse Masters as Cav now. We're just going to ping-pong into them from every angle. He is getting on these Chaos Warriors, though. I don't want him to get on there. Especially the halberds, I really need those. But you see, they're terrified. They're going to be running away. And I'm going to be sandwiching in with the Horse Masters, doing a fair amount of damage on those greatswords. So that's going pretty well. We're going to pull through, bring in this other group to do a little charge, although I don't know how much longer they're going to last. And he is going to use Volkmar the Grim to try to block up these charges, which is definitely what he needs to be doing. Definitely a good call on his part. A little bit of a weird charge here. They are going to get caught up in Volkmar the Grim, so I'm just going to immediately try to pull out here. Right now I really want these horses to focus on the great swords and not get bogged down on Volkmar. So I'm going to bring these guys around to the side here. And you can see he did chase off all the Chaos Warriors. They're fleeing, but they'll probably be back. Hopefully by the time they're back we can get rid of all these great swords. So he's going to try to chase these guys off because the more value you can get off the board, the better. And Volkmar's coming in here to try to block that charge, but they're just a little bit too wide. They are going to get in there, do an okay amount of damage, and then just pull out. There's just going to be a lot of weak charges from these guys. That was a beautiful block from Volkmar right there. Really nice stuff. Still got in there, but would have been a lot worse if he hadn't blocked him up. So he's still got 40 great swords. You can see the Ever Chicken. Now that he's not really threatened by anything, he can just kind of sit here, gain some of his power. He's winded right now, so get a little bit more well rested. Hopefully get one or two spells off that could really tip this thing in my favor. Just going to be keeping these Chaos Warriors up here for the time being. Let them rest a little bit as well, because once they're a little bit more well rested, their morale will be a bit better. I'm going to keep charging in here. These great swords, now they're getting really low. They still have a lot of models, but each charge at this point with this amount of health is going to be killing models. So he's at 38 down to 36, still pretty good. I mean, these guys only have, they have what's their charge bonus? 30 charge. It's not great. They don't do too much damage, and definitely not AP damage. So it's going to take a lot of charging to get these guys down. But luckily, all he has is Volkmar that can really block or act as a mass to keep these guys in. So not too hard to just cycle charge these guys. And they're starting to get really low on morale now. They're probably going to break after another charge or two, and then we can just focus on taking down Volkmar. See, these guys are now tired, very tired. So the rest is going to do these guys well. They're just having a cup of coffee up here, talking about the Chaos Lords and how much they think they're great. you know, kind of pepping each other up. So that's good stuff. You can see that my horses do break every once in a while. So I'm just trying to gather my forces position so I can really just collapse in here. Ideally, I'd like to just ping-pong them around into oblivion, but he gets another little charge block there, which is nice. We're going to bring these guys in. Didn't really get a good charge off. He's at 27, and these Marauders stayed in just a little too long. They're almost at 100 kills, which is pretty nice. Definitely getting some good value. 80 there, 66. They all have chevrons that I believe were gained in the actual battle. 50 on these guys. What are these greatswords saying? 95 on the greatswords. They've been doing good work too. They almost have a chevron. 151 on Volkmar. He's been doing good work. He's been blocking all those charges. He's probably the one who's been doing most of the damage to these horse masters as they charge in. Did get a spell off here. Did okay amount of damage. I think it's going to be enough to break these guys. There we go. So they're broken, and now I can just use my my horse masters to chase him off. He's going to try to stay on them, but I'm not going to let that happen. I'm definitely going to chase him off the field. And now I can bring in these active and winded units to try and finish him off. He is going to cast Grand Shield to face, some damage resistance, try to keep these guys alive a little bit longer. At this point, they only have 11 units, 265 HP. He's going to come in here, I guess, to charge on my my infantry, so it lets this really tattered unit of horse masters just finish those guys up. So we don't have to worry about that anymore. Really, the whole battle is in here. You can see that some of my guys are already breaking. Halberds gone. They're gone, which is unfortunate because I really need those guys to do some damage. He's at 1,000 HP, and you can see all my infantry just buckled right there. So even though I let them rest, it was pretty rough. These guys are broken now, so I can bring back my horse masters, and we're getting ready for the final showdown here, guys. It's going to be Volkmar, the fantastic mustachio, against that guy, the Ever Chicken. So I'm going to try to get a little bit of surround here. Get a charge in on the side. Didn't do any damage. Didn't do any damage, but I am going to bring in the horse masters here. I think I did take a hit, and we did a little bit of damage on that side. We're chunking them down a bit. I got the horse masters in here, trying to muck them up, and that's what I want. Is I want them to start fighting these horses, so I can come in for a charge. 374. We're doing okay. 505 on the Ever Chicken, but he is taking a little bit of damage. And you can see one group of horse masters are gone. 209, 214. It's a really close game. It's a really close game. These Marauders are going, but they're not broken off the field, so they'll probably come back. 24 HP, and he takes down the Ever Chicken with 24 HP left. That was a great game. Very well played by my opponent, the Humbolt Squid. That was a lot of fun. That was one of the closer games I've had in a long time, down to 24 HP, which is wild. I know a couple of things I did wrong. One was just in the army selection screen. I messed up by bringing all these Chaos Warriors. You can see his great swords, 94 kills, 95 kills, 69 kills, and these guys just 14, 14, 37, 8. They just, it wasn't a good trade. He got a lot of value there. I should have brought in at least 2 units of great weapons. That would have given me a large advantage there. So I think that's definitely part of the reason of why I lost here. Another big mistake I had was leaving the Ever Chicken in with the Griffites. They messed them up real bad and real fast. So if I had the almost full HP Ever Chicken near the end there, probably could have pulled it out. But he did a great job at getting these Griffites where they need to be to provide a ton of value for them. The Horse Masters did great. I really like these Horse Masters. I would bring them again for sure. Halberds did okay. I think they did good damage against Volkmar, especially at the start. And they did some good damage, I think, against some of the Griffites. This group didn't seem to do too good. And then the Warhounds did okay. Mostly just chasing off units and trying to get in that back line, but they couldn't really hold up to any kind of real fighting. But it was a great game overall. Really liked it. I hope we get another one like that soon. And take care, guys.